Friends, I cannot tell a lie and pretend that I'm really put together right now because I am not even a little bit. And I'm really disappointed because not only did I not follow through on my promises to do a lot of really fun, inspired recordings with different backgrounds, I didn't do that at all. I recorded one time and the audio was awful because on the back porch it just echoed so bad. And I tried so many softwares and nothing could save it. So just go into this video with that caveat. I will not be offended if you can't stand the poor audio quality. So if I receive enough feedback, I may consider re-recording this, but the whole point of it was that I had my little buddy Gerald and I was at the cabin I was staying at. So open to your feedback, but just go in with an open mind. Thank you. Hello. Welcome back to Chronically Joyful. I'm Kat Weston, and I'm very much enjoying taking advantage of the fact that I am not currently home. Behind me is, oh no, Mountain Vineyards Winery out in Wise, Virginia, which is where I'm actually planning to spend quite a lot of my time tomorrow. They have gifted me two free tastings, and it is literally right there, so walking distance, so I'm very excited. But today I am insanely exhausted, which is why I'm in big t-shirt and freshly showered afro hair mode at the moment, just because today I spent hiking the Devil's Bathtub hike. I will drop a link in the description below if you're curious to look at that, but I am intending to splice some video if I can remove my silly green hat out of literally every single one of them because I didn't realize that was in the capture frame. But hopefully I can share that with all of you fine folks just to get something naturey in your lovely Thursday today. Today, as I'm recording this, is actually Saturday. I'm trying to take advantage of the different space, so hopefully the videos are interesting and different than the norm. But what I wanted to kind of chat with you all today is why I've actually chosen to spend my birthday alone this year and kind of reflect on the 32 years of life that I have lived on this planet and why healing in the woods is everything to me as a bug, a very large bug, goes to sting me. Hold on. That was a close call. It didn't happen though. I didn't get stung. Thank God. But honestly, choosing to spend my birthday A, by myself, B, hiking by myself also, while also celebrating not only 32 years of life, but almost 12 years of living with multiple sclerosis. There is a lot that is happening right now, and I personally feel there is a lot to celebrate with that too. So let's take a drink, a cheers to Southern Revere back home. And jump right in. I thought this was awesome, so he's gonna hang out with me for the rest of this video. I choose to name you Gerald. Hello, Gerald. Thank you for joining me and bringing me a fish for my birthday. But yeah, just taking a moment here to acknowledge that from 12 years ago, being told, you'll never run again, you will most likely be wheelchair bound, you're gonna die. Like all of these really intense moments to be standing before you all today, feeling really good, honestly. Like, I'm exhausted because that was a very strenuous hike that people were doing in sandals, and the Devil's Bathtub you can swim in. I was going to wear a bathing suit and I decided not to, and honestly, like, I'm not sorry about that. I did stick my feet in, and it is considered apparently the coldest water in the state of Virginia. Can confirm my feet immediately went numb, but I needed it. Like, I sweat through all of my clothes, and it was so great. And out and back, it was around 5 miles was what All Trails, which is the hiking app I use, told me was the distance. Also because I walked I parked in the further parking lot, which is a half mile away, which makes sense because it's a 4 mile out and back. And then that's an additional mile walking back to my car. So 5 miles, quite frankly, has never felt better for me. I clearly am not wheelchair bound. I am thriving. That hike was challenging. I had my little walking sticks, which helped significantly, especially as I was crossing over multiple rivers and like sliding and slipping. And the soles of my hiking boots came off mid hike. It was awesome. But all of these tumultuous things happening and having to like pull my body up on certain parts of this hike and do different things, like, I am personally very proud of how far I have come in strength in this regard. But just taking a moment to acknowledge that life, not to get all hokey on you, but life genuinely is what we make it, right, Gerald? Life is what we make it. And being told I will never be able to do these things again, I took that and I was just like, watch me do it. Watch me work on my conditioning in the gym and my strength, and like in between like lifting days, getting on the treadmill on a 10 incline and practicing to be able to like not die on hiking trails. And it's just, it is okay for you to take a moment, listen to the bullfrogs behind you, and just really acknowledge how far you personally have come. And I've been doing a lot of that. For my spiritual folks out there, happy 8/8 portal today, where personally I'm working on releasing 8 things in my life and then calling in 8 things into my life now. And one of those things is that, like, I'm planning, and I'll share this outwardly because that's how the magic happens. I am releasing any self-doubt. I was always my biggest limiting factor of saying, no, I can't go on that hike. It's too far. I'm not conditioned. I have MS. I can't do the thing. And I'm not doing that ever again. I will never let myself limit myself, if that makes sense. And instead, I call in an abundant future of just doing the thing and prepping for moments like this, where like I booked this trip months ago. I think it was in like February I booked this. And I was just like, I want to challenge myself. I want to do this. And as such, like, I got really serious about my gym routine, my nutrition, everything in between, up until a couple weeks ago, where I fell off the bandwagon and have just been like in my own head for a lot of different reasons. But even with that, the amount of conditioning that I did before, it's really showing. I mean, the pants I'm wearing don't quite fit me, which is exciting. This is also like my first bar beverage in a really long time. A cheers. I just appreciate you all being here so much. Let me take a minute to say that. Don't tell anyone. I forgot you were here. But so it's a combination of just looking back at where I was 12 years ago, even, I can't say 32 years ago because I was born, but like younger past versions of me, even the version of me that existed 2 years ago. I couldn't be more grounded. I like to say the word different, but I'm very this much the same in a lot of different ways too. Like, I'm still a goober, as everybody who knows me knows. But I've changed in such positive ways that are massive. But I do want to take a moment to highlight here that I wouldn't be this version of myself without the people I've met along the way. My family, who has supported me endlessly and unconditionally through all of this, through the trials and tribulations that we have faced, like through anything, they are always there for me, and I'm so grateful for that. The friends I've made along the way, and the ones that have been there since the beginning. I'm actually chatting casually with one of my best friends, Jessica, right now, who just got her sick tattoo. If you see this, it's great. It is huge. It's like a huge lions. It's lovely. And just really appreciating all of the people that have been a part of this I'm very distracted right now by a really beautiful dragonfly. I wish you could see it. Um, but even the small interactions. On my hike today, I went by myself, obviously. And when I got to the bathtub, I met this lovely group of older women who had just sat on the rock to eat their lunch. And I took my shoes off, and there's a part where it's like you get there and there's a small tub, and it's like, wow, that's gorgeous. But if you keep going, you get to the bigger one with the bigger waterfalls. That is like so breathtaking. This is one of the most beautiful hikes I've ever done in my life. I'm so happy I did it. And to get there, I'm looking and I'm like, that's deep water. To get over there, and I start taking my shoes off, and I was like, I'm gonna like mountain goat this in my toesies and like try to make it over there. But also recognizing I have MS and I had a hiking backpack on and my poles. I left all of that behind. The ladies were like, we'll wash it for you if you want to get closer. I was like, thank you so much. And I like rolled up my leggings, and I just like got in the water, and like I've learned it is safer for me to stay close to the ground so that if I do fall over, which I do often, it's less of a likelihood that I'm going to seriously injure myself. So I'm like crawling across all these rocks, and they're watching me, and I was like, enjoy the entertainment, ladies, while you enjoy your lunch. I was like, I have MS. This is going to be amusing for you. And it was. And they were really, really lovely, wonderful people. And I'm so grateful because like they finished up and I left after them because I like to give people room, especially when I'm alone. And like I booked it on the way back. It's like I did all of the river crossings already and I recognized the trail. So like I boogied. But I made it to the final river crossing, which I did not remember being as spread apart with all of the exposed rocks as it was. But by that point, I repurchased the same pair of hiking shoes I've had for a decade. They finally just kicked the bucket last year. And I was like trying to find them, and I found the same pair on eBay, and it said very lightly worn. I was like, sold. What I learned on this trip that Gerald also agrees with me on is that never buy a pair of secondhand hiking boots, friends. Please learn from my mistakes here. My left foot, which is my bad foot, it's the one that has the most foot drop. So it's why I have a gait. But like halfway to the bathtub, my sole just falls off the bottom of my shoe and is hanging on by a thread on the back, and I rip that off. And I leave it in a part of the trail that I will see on the way back because I refuse to leave anything in the woods that I brought. Like I want to leave it better than it was when I got there. So I left that. I was like, I'm coming back for you. And going through, I'm like, man, now I'm like really kind of handicapped on this because the rocks are slippery and muddy, and it's like this foot's slipping, so I'm like anchoring with this one and my poles. And it was so embarrassing because one of the crossings, like I'm struggling very clearly. And these three girls who are wearing sandals just like walk in the water, and they were like, do you like need help? They were significantly younger than me, and I was like, no, I just like lost a sole of my shoe, so I'm just slipping everywhere. And they're looking at my shoes and they're looking at me like, this isn't that serious. It's a very challenging hike. The amount of people wearing flip-flops I was gobsmacked because it was rocky. It was challenging. So like, good on those folks. I would not do it, but I make it there. It's great. And maybe 10 minutes into the return walk, my other hiking boot does the same thing. It was so funny. Both times they're hanging on by a thread. I had to rip them off. And the second time I just like smacked myself in the face with it. So like I'm covered in dirt. I had like a dirt beard. This is hysterical. I shoved that into my hiking pack because I was like, I can't leave this here now. I did find the other sole. I did take it with me. I did not leave it on the trail. But like now I have no traction. I still have to do all these river crossings. I make it to the final one. I look at it and I'm like, I'm so close to the car. I'm just going to trudge through it. And I find the same group of older women there, and they just went, oh, hey, yeah, just take it slow. Like, you could take that path. And I was like, ladies, things have gone quite awry. I think I'm just going to do it. And it was like almost to my knees. And I'm just trudging and sliding and slipping. And they're just like hanging out in the pool. Like, we needed to take a siesta because this one was a little challenging. And I'm just like falling into the river. Like, thank you for the advice. But they were so nice. They were like, have the best day. We're so glad that we met you today. And it's like that is a great example of just like the people you meet along the way that really make a difference. And it's like, I didn't get any of their names, but I will remember them when I think of this trip. And they just like really, they elevated it to a degree that it wouldn't have been as phenomenal without meeting that group, you know? So it's just taking a moment, not even just on the last 12 years of this MS journey, but also just almost 32 years on this planet. This coming Monday, I will be celebrating my birthday, and just really grateful for the phenomenal people in my life now who have graced my life before. I forget what the direct quote is, but it's like, you meet people for a reason. Either to always, forever love you, to teach you, and then there's another part to it where it's just like, not everyone necessarily stays, but they make an impact in some form or fashion. So just acknowledging the lovely humans that I've been so blessed and grateful to have along with me on this lovely journey that we call life. I have so many really great, like, pre-planned ideas of recordings that I want to do for all of you, and I'm really excited. I'm stopping after this one today, which is really disappointing because before this trip I was like, I'm going to record, I'm going to work on something chronically joyful relative that's coming. That's all I'm saying, but I have run it by 2 trusted sources, one of them being a professional designer, and I got a big gold star from them, so I feel really excited. But just wanted to like record all of these things with interesting backgrounds and interesting Geralds and like really spice this up, but I am beside myself exhausted right now. And my plan after this, I'm making myself a birthday ribeye steak in a butter and thyme sauce, missing the sherry. Shout out to you, Justin. Sherry, thyme, and butter. It makes everything better, trust me. But I'm very excited to continue this journey with all of you, and as always, I am so grateful for you joining me on this much needed birthday little getaway vacation I booked a million years ago, and I'm so happy to be embarking on now. I really do love and appreciate every single one of you, all 35 of you, but this channel continues to grow. So thank you so much for being a part of it, for listening, learning, and loving alongside me through this insane chronic illness journey and this entire life journey. Life's a gift. I'm sorry, I'm back. I just started laughing way too hard. But letting you go now so I can try to splice video footage together from my really fun hike earlier today. As always, the light in me sees the light in all of you. I hopefully will be taking you along with me to the lovely winery behind me. And I love you all so much. Thank you and have the most wonderful of Thursdays.